Today we're going to talk about carbs, protein, and fat, and the truth about what they actually do for your body. It is so common as a registered dietitian to sit with someone and hear them talk about how much they feel like they have to avoid carbs, eat a ton of protein, and truly it's not that way, and we actually need more carbs than we might think, and not as much protein as is put out there in social media. So let's dive into the truth about what they do for our body and how to create balanced meals that include all the food groups that will help us thrive. Let's start with carbs because they definitely get the worst rap out of all the food groups, and I'm here to defend them all day, every day. Carbs are our body's main and favorite source of energy. Our brain, our red blood cells, they actually rely solely on glucose, which is what common carbohydrate foods break down into in our body and then get sent to different parts of our body to give it energy to thrive. So that is first and foremost why they're my favorite, because they are our body's favorite source of energy, and without them, it's when we tend to feel the lowest energy. Now, they do get a bad rap, carbs. Everyone that I talk to as a dietitian definitely is concerned about weight gain with eating too many carbs, and it's probably the number one food group I see people avoid. I just want to remind you that there is no one food group that causes weight gain. Honestly, it is just an overconsumption of calories in general, which we get from every single food group. So take that thought away from carbs. They do not cause weight gain on their own. They would only cause weight gain if you were overconsumed or if you overconsume food in general, not just carbohydrates. Another thing to think about with carbohydrates is, yes, they do tend to make us feel pretty bloated afterwards, depending on what kind we eat and how much. That is because carbohydrates also attach to water, or water actually attaches to carbohydrates in our body. So this is why we might feel more bloated or like we've gained weight after we eat a carbohydrate-rich food, because as it's digesting, we've just got a little bit more water attached to those carbohydrate molecules or those glucose molecules that can make us feel like we did gain weight. So I understand the feeling, but I do want to point out that carbohydrates are not the sole cause of weight gain, and they don't need to be avoided. Another thing that they do, other than just giving our body energy, is giving us a variety of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, especially if we're eating more whole grain carbohydrates like whole wheat pasta, quinoa, whole grain bread, or any other kind of whole grain source of a starchy grain, like a starchy vegetable as well, including potatoes and squash, could also fall under that carbohydrate category just because they break down in a similar way as carbohydrates do, and they provide fiber and grains. Moving on to protein, this is the nutrient I see get the best rap out of all the food groups. And quite honestly, people want to eat too much of it when I meet with them typically. They think that they need to have, this is an exaggeration, but actually it couldn't be, but somewhere around like 120 grams per day. This is pretty excessive for protein, and carbohydrates are the number one food group that we want the most of during the day because of all the energy our body requires. But we also want to make sure we're including protein because it is so beneficial for many reasons. It not only makes up our hair, our skin, our nails, it also provides more energy and satisfaction, especially when paired with carbohydrates. For example, if we are having in the morning a piece of whole grain toast with an egg on it, we've got our carbohydrate with the toast, we've got our egg as the protein source. This together is a great combination because it gives us more longer lasting energy and can get us to that next meal without having to think about food all the time or have low energy or low focus. So it's really great when it's paired with the other food groups, especially carbohydrates. And it also helps with a lot of enzymatic reactions going on in our body. So enzymes are just another thing in our body, I don't know what the right word is for it, that get a lot of processes going in our body, like digestion and promote or producing hormones, for example. And so protein works with those enzymes to help a lot of those processes move along. So there's a lot of different benefits to protein, and I would encourage you to always include a variety of it alongside of those other food groups and not make it your main focus and only thing that you eat. Because without the other food groups, protein can't do its job properly, because our body is really smart and it can take protein and turn it into what it needs to be to give it the best energy in our body. But if it's doing that, then protein isn't going towards our muscles, our hair, our nail, our skin. It's not working as well with the reactions in our body we need. So don't forget about the other food groups when you're thinking about protein. It is important, but it's not the most important one. Last major food group that I want to talk about is fat. It has a lot of benefits as well. Number one, it does promote more satiety and satisfaction from the food we eat. It adds flavor. It's the most filling nutrient because there's more calories in fat per gram compared to carbs or protein. So we don't need as much of fat to feel full and satisfied alongside of those other food groups because it's already filling on its own. And another important role that fat plays is helping digest our fat-soluble vitamins, which are vitamin A, D, E, and K. So I like to use a salad as an example with this. When you're eating a salad with greens and maybe other vegetables like carrots or broccoli or cucumbers, there will be some of those fat-soluble vitamins in those vegetables. And when you add a dressing or maybe an oil or a vinaigrette to your salad, the fat from the dressings or oil really helps absorb the vitamins in the vegetables. So that is super important when it comes to fat's role in our body because it helps us absorb important nutrients that can be used to help us thrive and again, feel our best in our body. Now that you know the benefits to the three major food groups, carbohydrate, protein, and fat, let's practice putting together a balanced meal with those major food groups. So I'll give you a couple examples. One could be at dinner. You decide you want to have pasta. So for your carbohydrate, you do a whole wheat pasta. For your protein, you decide to, let's say, cook up some ground turkey and throw that in with the pasta for your protein. And then for your fat, you go ahead and you sprinkle some cheese on top of it. So you've got your carbohydrate, your protein, your fat. And if you want to go as far as getting the next food group like vegetables, fruit might not go with this, of course, but vegetables, you could either cook them into the sauce, you could just mix them right in like a frozen spinach, or some diced peppers or onions can go great in this dish so that you add some extra nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. If you liked this video and this information, but you want to continue to learn more and take the guesswork out of creating balanced meals, my course, Simply Nourish, Nutrition Made Easy, would be perfect for you. It dives even more in depth in each food group and types of food so that you understand and feel confident creating balanced meals with each of those food groups. And it also helps you feel more in tune with your body's hunger and fullness cues so that you're nourishing your body in a way that really just helps you feel your best and takes the guesswork out of how to nourish your body. So I will go ahead and I will leave the link to my course, Simply Nourish, Nutrition Made Easy, in the description of the video if you're interested there. And stay tuned for more information on how to continue to simply nourish your body.